Hello everyone, welcome to A Foreigner Farming in the Philippines. You're not helping that little cat here. Get up here and behave yourself. I'm going to make a short series of videos on GD Mead, and then I'm going to pretty much be done with it, because as far as I'm concerned it is done. Other than some legal avenues I'm going to pursue. Once again, anyone who is not interested in such content, don't watch it. His name is going to be in the title of every video in which he is the subject. So if there's no new content up that you would like to watch, go hit one of our, ouch, go watch one of our playlists. There's over 1,000 videos in them. There's something that you can do to keep yourself occupied. I'm going to have to set this cat out. Alright, so continuing on. The title of this video, GD Mead Is A Liar. You know, it's hard to make a list of all the things that he lies about, because it's, you know, I don't want to make a 4-hour video on all the stuff that GD Mead lies about, but just pretty much if his mouth is moving, he's lying about something. And if it's not an outright bold, bald-faced, fabricated lie, it's something that he spun in a way to where it just ends up being a lie. There was I was over on Kong King in the Philippines channel reading a comment by someone, I can't remember, who made a partial list of the stuff that GD was lying about. And I'm not going to go over and pull that up and reread it. Some glaring things are his supposed law enforcement career. You know, he likes to post everything over on Expats Forum, that little joke troll website. Funny, he has never posted any of his records of his law enforcement training, no accolades or awards he won in recognition of his law enforcement service. Has never mentioned any police department that I know of that he worked for anywhere. All he's done is show his little fake security guard badge. So he just did that to add some kind of credibility into the crazy stuff that he was talking about. You know, Jeff, you like to call me out on stuff, so I'll call you out. Prove you were ever in law enforcement. Real law enforcement, not a mall cop. I'm sure the world will wait with bated breath. You know, it just goes on and on about all the laws that he accuses me of breaking. You know, he's such an idiot that he misinterprets what he reads. And any sane person, all they have to do is go through his responses to comments and the things that he says that other people have said to know that he's just, his comprehension level is that of a 3-year-old. He just doesn't get it. A subject or a group of words goes in one ear and it spins around in his alcoholic, pathetic excuse for a brain, and by the time it's all assimilated, it doesn't resemble anything to a fact. It's just the way that he is. You know, he's gone on and on and on about all these investigations that that he's initiated with law enforcement, government agencies here in the Philippines. You know what, it's out of the bag now that my 13A visa has been approved. I think it's available now on the Bureau of Immigration's website. You know, here's a news flash for everyone. They don't pass out 13A visas like hot dogs at a ball game. It is one is thoroughly investigated, let's say. I had to go through numerous police checks, all the way from the barangay level all the way up to and including the MBI. And as far as I know, it was thorough and exhaustive. His ludicrous accusation that I somehow bribed a official at the Bureau of Immigration to get my 13A approved. It's just, you know, it's more of his secret decoder ring Fantasyland crap. No one, especially since President Duterte has been in office, they have really cracked down on corruption here in the Philippines. Not to say that it doesn't exist. There's corruption in every country in the world. And I'm fairly certain that the Philippines is no exception. That it's as rampant as it was in the past, I seriously doubt. And for any sane person to think that a high-up career official at the Bureau of Immigration would risk his job, would risk imprisonment, would risk his pension for 50,000 pesos is ludicrous. A little news flash here. You know, I knew months and months and months ago when we put in my application, when Marcel put in my application for my 13A on my behalf, that it was all just smoke and mirrors from GD. Because they won't, as I understand it, see, we went through an agency to get my 13A, because if we hadn't, there would have been a lot of travel involved, going back and forth to Tagbilaran and back and forth to Cebu for all the paperwork. And with all the COVID restrictions in the last year, travel restrictions, we just thought it would be best if we went through an agency. So we paid the extra money and had an agency do it. And you can't, the Bureau of Immigration won't even accept your application for review if you're under investigation from any government agency in the Philippines, period. So I knew several months ago that nothing was going on. All his crap about the NBI is investigating me, the BIR is investigating me, the DSWD is investigating me, I don't know, what else? It's all just wishful thinking on his part. There are 0 prior, pending, future investigations on any of my activities in the Philippines. 0. Because if there had been, I wouldn't have been granted a 13A visa. They wouldn't even have considered the application if there had been any ongoing investigations. GD Mead is in Fantasyland, and anyone who believes anything that comes out of his mouth is also in Fantasyland. And while I haven't watched his last 2 marathon live streams, I've heard about them. And this group of crazy old farts, and that's just what they are, crazy old farts, are in Fantasyland. No one in the Philippines government is taking anything that any of these fools has done seriously. It's all gone in the round file. Or they investigated and found nothing amiss. Because that's the bottom line. That's what no one seems to get, is that I've broken no laws in the Philippines. Jeff goes on and on and on about the fish pen laws and the water, all that stuff to do with the fish pen. You're just misinterpreting the law. You're missing the part about equity, and I don't have equity in any of that. It's not mine. I don't own it. You know, do you think the DNR or the NBI would just let it slide if I was somehow breaking laws, especially since it's in the public forum? There's so many trolls now, troll channels now. There's been so many people making complaints. Do you think they would just shrug their shoulders and go, "Nah, we don't feel like dealing with it"? No. If there had been a crime committed, there would have been consequences. And here I am, Jeff, after almost a year of this insanity. Here I am. And this is where I'll be a year from now, and this is where I'll be 5 years from now. You're a loon. You are a crazy person. You need psychological help. It's just too bad that no one in your family will step up. Your little internet friends, your YouTube buddies, they're just as gone as you are. But you would think there's somebody with some modicum of sanity in your family who would step up and say, you know, it's time to lay down. You lost again, Jeff. All this silly crap about all the, NBI was gonna come and throw me on the ground and cuff me and stuff me, and I would be put in prison and then deported. And the same thing would happen to Maricel because she's violating the anti-dummy laws. You're in fantasy land, and saying that I bribed a Bureau of Immigration official with 50,000 pesos. So I guess your logical conclusion would be is that I also bribed someone at the NBI. Do you realize the NBI is the premier law enforcement agency in the Philippines? It's similar to the FBI in the United States, or MS6 or whatever it is in the UK. These are professional people. They're not dummies. They're in the premier law enforcement agency in the Philippines, a sovereign republic. And to think that they would just either not take action or take a bribe, man, you've lost it, Jeff. That cat I just put outside has got more brains than you do. Honest to God, that cat has more brains than you do. Because at least she knows when she's hungry, and she lets me know, and she knows to go to the bathroom in her box. You don't even have sense enough to do that, I don't think, Jeff. You haven't proven it to be so. I know that Jeff isn't going to go away because he really has a mental problem. He has a psychological condition that just won't allow him to let this go away, because he believes it. He believes what he says is true, and he's found a couple dozen people who are just as crazy as he is, who believe him also, and wouldn't know a fact. Neither Jeff nor his followers would know a fact if it crawled up their ass and did a dance. They're just off in la la land, and if you can't accept on face value that I got my 13A visa legitimately, and accept that I would have to, for the Bureau of Immigration to approve my visa, that there would be no investigations under this, and if he's to be believed, has filed complaints against every alphabet soup government agency in the Philippines. If he's to be believed, then I had to have bribed every one of them because they all have investigative arms. The DSWD, the NBI, obviously, the BIR, the DNR, they all have investigators. And do you think that they would all be reined in? You would have to think that it was all just swept under the rug because I bribed everybody. Look, Jeff, you're a nut job. You are a certifiable nut job. And you should be committed. Really, you should. For your own safety and the safety of others, you should be committed in an insane asylum. Because you are that crazy. Honest to God, you have lost touch with reality. If you've even ever been in touch with reality. This fantasy land of yours, the secret decoder ring, the circuit that you emailed me about years ago, this secret organization of powerful expats here that look out for each other. Good Lord, Jeff, you're in fantasy land, and I think your whole life has been like that. Your childhood must have been horrible for you to end up the kind of person that you are. And add to that 40, 50 years of being an alcoholic, and you got what you got. A nut job. You are Looney Tunes. I just wanted to try to make it clear to people that everything that he has done up until this point has been either a lie, either all these complaints and stuff never happened, and he's just been lying to his followers, or all these complaints have been filed and everything was found to be copacetic. It's either one or the other. So either he's been lying to all his followers about what he's been doing, or there was no there. It was a big nothing burger. And I can tell you that it was a big nothing burger. No laws were broken, and no fish were harmed in the making of this video. I wish you all well. As disparaging as my comments have been against Jeff in this video, and I know it'll fall on deaf ears in his camp, but for those of you, again, who are so inclined, who are watching this video, it can't hurt. Offer up a prayer for him. He's an atheist. I think he's pretty much a lost cause, but God is more powerful than all of us combined by orders of magnitude. And if there's any hope for this man at all, any whatsoever, since no earthly power, none of his family, no earthly power is going to take him to task. The only thing that will save this man is the divine. So any of you that are so inclined, offer up a prayer to our Lord and Savior, and maybe he can do something. Maybe he can somehow give Jeff the epiphany that that he is misguided. I'm going to end this one up. Probably make another one right after it. We'll continue from there. Thank you, everyone. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe.